What is going on, people of the internet? Man, what is going on? How nice is it to actually have a live streaming program that works, man? What's up, StreamYard? See you later, Restream. Y'all made me so sad when you wasted like 6 tries yesterday, giving everyone false notifications. Shame. Guys, my name is Ryan Bag, and I am your host of the Chatbot Podcast, the only place you want to be at 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Duh, the coolest playground on the internet. And today is extra special, folks, because we actually have one of the first to believe in me and TTT, Tap the Table, a client of mine for, I guess, over a year now, because that's how long we've been in business. And I'm so excited to welcome the owner of Tio's on Hilton Head Island and coming soon, extremely soon, in Bluffton. Welcome, Sally. How's it going? There she is. She's real.
What's up? How's it going?
When you said what's up like that, Sally, I really thought that I was like filming one of your announcement videos. What's up, Tio's fam is like in my head, ingrained forever.
It sure is. Yes, I've said that quite a bit.
You have, and as I will say probably about 1,000 times on this show, it's awesome. That's my favorite word. And you look very nice today.
Oh, thank you. I got ready just for you, just for this podcast.
I've been trying, folks, to get her on this show for a while, but I can't push my clients too hard because I like my clients a lot and I need money, right? So I don't want to annoy her, but I'm like, podcast, texting her, Facebook message, podcast is fun, right? Man, thank you so much for everything that you do for me and the company and Hannah and all of us and for Hilton Head. And I would love for you to allow me to shut up for a second and have you just tell the world about yourself. I mean, there are millions of people watching right now, Sally, from all over the world.
Millions.
She's very convinced, as y'all can tell, of that. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute, and I would just love for you to tell people about yourself, who you are, where you're from, how you became owners of Tio's, one of the best restaurants in South Carolina.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, I'm one of the owners of Tio's. We have a couple of partners, my husband being the chef, and then another guy named Ellie Baton. And my husband and I dreamt up this vision of Tio's because we had lived in Bluffton for several years and moved to the island. And we really wanted a great margarita on the north end of the island. And basically, Tio's was born. We did the concept of Latin American kitchen. My husband's from Honduras, Central America. And we didn't want just a Mexican restaurant or just a Honduran restaurant. We wanted something that really appealed to more of the Latin community. And when we get together with our friends, everybody is from all over. So, we did this concept of basically a Latin American fusion. And, Tio's became real. We opened on the north end of the island, and then we actually moved to the mid island, which we felt like was a much better and bigger location. So, and then not soon after that, we had this crazy idea to open a location in Bluffton. So we had lived in Bluffton for years, and a part of our heart is still in Bluffton. So we will be opening location number 2. We're really, really excited. And I have to say, Ryan and his, TTT has been so beneficial to our business.
You are so awesome. And congratulations again, for the 315th and a half time on that new location. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm very good at keeping secrets, but the person that might have told me this secret, I might pester them forever until it's not a secret anymore. I've known about this location for a long time. Told nobody. Trust is everything. And I'll tell you what, they have all the secrets here. They have all the plans, but we're not going to tell you all the things. I cannot wait to eat tacos every day, basically. Tacos and pizza every day in Bluffton when Tio's is here. I make that trip, and every single time I'm there at Tio's, what do I get? The same
I know,
things. The
tacos. Yes, your tacos.
They are the best folks by far. And let me tell y'all, for those of you, million viewers right now, because we do have international viewers. That's the majority of our viewership. For y'all that have not been to Hilton Head, it is saying something. If you're the best at anything, they're the best at all these things. And as far as tacos go, I can assure you, they're the best. And you know, I have on my screen rolling at the bottom. I don't know if you see that. That's my chef, Chef Lyndon. Shout out to him because he's just like so fun. This is their family, their awesome little family, minus the littlest baby, right? That's
Yes,
now
I
into
just
the
had a
world.
baby.
And man,
Just
I'll tell
had a
you,
baby.
I think we've talked about it, and when we built your new website, and when we build out your marketing in general, and we build it all the time. I guess it's always it's a living thing, guys. You
Yeah,
stress that Chios is about family. Can you just tell us? And this is kind of a curveball. I didn't put this on the banner. Sorry. Can you tell
that's
us a little
okay.
bit about that idea? Because not all restaurants have this, right? This is kind of unique. Like when you really, really are about it, right?
Um, yeah, I mean, about what? What do you
About
mean?
the family,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
I
family
mean,
centric stuff. Like any restaurant can say, "Oh, we're a family oriented place," but like then actually like not like have kids sections or something. Like not have a thing, a coloring sheets or
yeah,
something. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's a really great balance. So, I mean, I think it's a really good point to bring up. I don't think I don't consider us a romper room. Like, I don't think that, and I don't mean that in any negative way towards any other restaurant, but I mean, our restaurant's nice, it's beautiful, but it's also very cozy and comforting and family oriented, I would say. And our kids menu is built, for kids, but to be healthy as well. We have 4 children. I have a stepdaughter and 3 of my own. I just had a baby at the beginning of November. We're very food conscious of what we give our kids and what they like as well. And so I think that it's a very family oriented place. And then our food goes hand in hand with that. So our kids meal, you get an entree and 2 sides and a drink, and everything's included. And I think that's really important. We do family style meals to go, which is really helpful because parents are on the go, or if you're coming in for vacation and you don't want to bring your kids to the restaurant, we're built for families to be able to enjoy really good food, which I think is really important. But we also have, a really nice bar and really good cocktails. So it's just a really good balance of everything. We know that parents want to bring their kids and have a good time, but they don't want it to feel like a Chuck E. Cheese environment. And so I think that we accomplish that really, really well. And we love kids. We love that environment, and we love that kids love our food so much. I can't tell you how many
oh my
pictures,
gosh. Yes. I
how many.
actually, you actually, typically, I usually beat you to the Facebook post in the daily like operations here, but today you beat me. And this is not totally uncommon. Like, and so you know what's awesome though, Sally, is at this point we work together. I think so well. Like, sometimes you're texting me like you had this idea or let's do this, and it's like, oh well, check this, it's already done, or
Yeah,
vice versa. It's like you just did this, I
yeah,
just did it too.
yeah.
Like, and we just do things because we're go getters, and you especially. I want to show the people that when we say things here on this show, we mean it. There is no fake news. There is no spin. What is the thing that Sally just posted today? Well, I will show you folks. Look at this. Look at this. This is awesome. Who is it? Do you know this child, by the way? I mean, you know everyone on Hilton Head, so it wouldn't
I know,
surprise me.
I know.
So
Actually,
cute. So
this is,
cute. Yeah, that's the happy smile right there.
I
Gee,
know.
if this doesn't go viral, Zuckerberg, you're doing it wrong.
He's like, Mom, look at me with my rice and beans. Like, what?
So
Um,
good.
that little boy, his name is Bentley. He has two older brothers, but it's a friend of mine that I went to college with, and we haven't been able to hang out over the years so much because she's, you know, not lived close, and then they moved to North Carolina, so on and so forth. But the point is they had dinner last night at Tio's because
Hmm.
she was thinking about the fajitas from the last time that they had visited, and they come down pretty often and stay in a condo and hang out. And so they had ordered Tio's in last night, and the boys loved the rice and beans so much that they actually went in as soon as we opened this morning at 11 and went and ate again. So it was super cute. And she sent me, she messaged me on Facebook. She messaged me those pictures and was
That's
like,
so
look at
good.
this. They can't get enough. But we do get those pictures pretty often, which is super cool.
It is super cool. Like I've worked in the social media game, as you know, for a very long time, and there are some concepts or brands or business industries that are just not like fun on social. It takes a lot of effort to make something happen. Or if you're, so uptight about, oh, well, we have to dot every I and cross every T and wear a tie to dinner. Like you can't have fun. And you're the most fun brand. You're family centric. Hilton Head is very family like centric. Like how many Hilton Head Island like family awards have we won in a row now? Like three or four. That's a
I
big
think
deal.
it's six. Like we're number one island. I don't know about the family, but yeah, I can see that. Like it's just very family oriented and so many fun outdoor activities and beautiful places to see as a family. So it's definitely one of my favorite reasons why we live here. Weather being number one. I'm a hot weather person. So I love living here. I love being able to take my kids to the beach the majority of the months of the year, if not all 12. And, outdoor dining is amazing, which, you know, there's so much of on the island, which is wonderful. And in Bluffton, too.
You're 100%, man. And I'll tell you what, I think the Bluffton location is going to just crush. I think that like we need something that's, you know, less of a corporate machine and more fun and more let's do this and let's do all the things that our brand is about versus the other things that I will not talk about because I'm not going to get in trouble here. But
You
what
know,
I
I remind our team all the time, as much as I am extremely serious about customer service and trying to get it 100% right all the time, I do tell my staff all the time, and I tell, people who worry about things, it's only tacos. It's not rocket science, it's not brain surgery. Yes, we want to be very serious, but we want to be solution oriented and we want to, change it, improve it, and move on. We're a new restaurant. We haven't been open for decades. We haven't been, doing this for a really long time. So we're evolving. And I have to remind our team of that all the time. We want to be the best and we are going to be the best without a doubt. But with that, we have to have grace with each other and, know that we're, making changes and we're moving very, very quickly. I'm sure sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, like I make decisions so quickly and we move on, and just being solution oriented and being positive is such a move in the right direction.
do y'all see why I post about her restaurant like daily on my personal feed? It's not because she pays me to do this. They pay me well, but I'll tell you what, like I do it because do y'all hear what we joke a little bit. I've always kind of wanted that older sibling maybe, but I'm the older sibling, and I always wanted like the cool sister. And I don't know for some reason I don't know if I've told you this. I correlate everyone to celebrities or TV people that I like know. To me, it's like you're the coolest like Hilton Head version of adult version of Clarissa explains it all. Like for me, like I'm probably gonna get dinged as like the dummy of the internet today. Charlamagne the God's going to call me the donkey of the day. I'm sure of it, but it's okay because Clarissa explained it all. She explained everything, and you explained all the things that I don't know, like really extremely well. And I'm very grateful for. But actually, like, I don't care if it's on the podcast or not. I'm very grateful for you for all the advice in and
Oh,
outside of just the restaurant space because you've helped me out in many situations. You're just a wonderful person, and so is your entire family. That's my chef.
oh,
I wish he was here so I could say that
I
on camera.
know.
He would turn so red
I
and just
know.
laugh.
He just, yeah, he shies away. You do such a good job getting him in front of the camera. You and
He
you
crushes it.
alone, like major props for getting Lyndon in front of the camera.
He does a really good job, and like I think it's necessary. You're one of the whenever we spoke about this, I was like, listen, it's time that the owner of the business, the top honcho, like it's time that they're in front of the camera in 2019 or whatever it was, 2020, whatever it was. And you're like, okay. And I was like, well, so who on your staff do you want to handle this, Miss Z? When I'm like first meeting you because I don't know you right at this time. And you're like, I'll do it. What do you mean? And I'm like, you're the owner though. Like owners, like they're too good for this. And you're like, no, let's do it. And like then you did it. And y'all, her videos have slayed it on this
Oh,
island
thank
here.
you.
And I want to ask you here something here is I think pretty important because she's more than just a restaurant guru here, guys. She mentioned it briefly. She came from a different background. She's done all the different things. But I want to ask you specifically because you're a business owner among all the different like core skills, like you're a retail expert. I want to talk about the Tio's salsa in a little bit because I love that project, and you're just a
Okay.
retail genius. But as a restaurant owner, because a lot of my audience, they want to learn the best ways to build relationships with potential clients or current clients or how to get clients. And they want to know how these restaurant owners or business owners think and what they think about social media. And some business owners we know take social media more seriously than others. Some
Yeah.
see success, some don't. We see what we see. I'll let you speak to that. But what is your as a business owner and specifically in restaurants? What are your thoughts about social media marketing in general?
So I do want to say briefly about my work history. So I come from the world of retail, traditional retail, folding t-shirts, being a store manager, traveling and training store managers, opening stores. But with those huge corporations came this invaluable knowledge of branding. So
Mm,
I came from two very successful brands. I worked for Guess for 5 years and then Michael Kors before I went into managing for a bank and then most recently a mortgage loan officer left before I left and then did TO's full time now. So, um, but what I will say is branding, 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 branding is everything.
that's what I'm talking
Um,
about.
it's so important. And so when Ryan asked, oh, who's going to do your videos? Well, yet again, when I go back to evolving as a restaurant and being new, I want to do the videos because I know my brand. I know the vision that I want to have for our business, and it's so important that we emulate, what we want that brand to be. And then branding comes in all forms. You know, I mean, it really does what you wear, what you say, how you act, who your employees are. Everything is a brand.
What they're
And
wearing. I love your merchandise, by the way, that even you sell it, but your staff also wear this stuff. Like that's totally a huge piece of your brand, I think. I love their quote uniforms. I guess they're not really uniforms.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's written in our handbook, it is our uniform. But here's the deal. And talking about branding, guess who picked out the uniforms? Our team did. Yeah, our
That's
team picked
awesome.
out the merchandise because that's who our brand is. You know what I mean? So it all goes back to they're the face of our business on a daily basis. We want them to feel comfortable in what they're wearing and what they're doing and we want them to be a part of that. And so they've helped make those decisions and that's why they wear the clothes so well because they've picked them out.
That makes so
Um,
much sense. I did not, personally, I did not know that, but that makes so much sense. And did y'all hear? I gotta get on here. Like, I'm gonna just like shut up for like the next however long she can speak to us before like she has check on baby because man, Y'all just need to listen, take notes. This is a business. Listen, succeeding on Hilton Head Island is no easy feat, folks. 250 plus restaurants, extremely high expectations. Sorry, this ain't Myrtle Beach. This ain't your Myrtle Beach tacos here. You must be top of the top to survive. Y'all need to take notes here if you're trying to get in contact with these high level business owners because she's dropping the bombs. I digress.
Oh. So as far as branding goes, obviously social media is a huge part of branding. Everything has gone to your tablet, your phone, your
Yep.
computer, how you get news, how you get information, how you get advertising and marketing. What was really important to me and why I even reached out to Ryan in the first place is because that relationship that a customer has with the restaurant before they even get to the restaurant is so important to me because it's who we are, it's what we're about, and it's how they're communicating with the restaurant. I knew early on that I wanted a way for our customers to be able to communicate with the restaurant. And I knew as a mom of three kids and my beautiful stepdaughter as well, that I wouldn't have time to message all of those customers. And in addition to that, 95% of the questions that they're asking, I personally don't need to be there with my phone in my hand messaging them. We get messages all day, every day, 24 hours a day. And I wanted a way to communicate with our customers because it's so important from a branding aspect.
You couldn't have said that any better if like you were the marketing director professor at like whatever University America USA. Like that was like you didn't read from a teleprompter because I'm not there. Like this is insanely well
No,
done,
I'm
guys.
sitting on my bed hiding from my children.
Yes, and I'm upstairs in my dungeon hiding from everyone and everything, doing nothing but code stuff and like marketing crap. Man, I'll tell you that the brand is the most important thing. And even when it came to the conversations that we built in your Tap the Table account, you were very particular about how things looked and how things were said. And I know when we first started here, you were insane about like making sure that those food photos had the oh there's the baby there where's
No,
which
it's
one
the
is it?
oldest one. We're live
That's
right
my
now.
chef. Please say hello, chef. Do it.
No,
He'll
it's
turn
my
so
oldest
red.
daughter.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
You can
chef.
watch.
He's
She's
probably how's
watching.
he not working? Yeah, it's so funny. Man, you remember that when I said the worst thing that could happen on a live stream is when you blank out or forget what you were going to say? Hello.
No.
It just
Well,
happened.
trust me. I mean,
It just happened.
don't worry.
But no, the brand thing is so important. So like she was having, well, I was going to say she was having me add text to the photos. No, folks, she already had the food photos with text overlays on them. Normally, I'm asked to make these. No, she already had them. She's like, well, how do you add this in here, Ryan? That's what I want to do. I'm like, well, I do this for you. You don't have to do this. I just want to do it. That's what she did, man. And we've made lots of changes since then. I think we've made all positive changes, and I think that like this last campaign that you started running with this taco stuff, 291 comments, 20 shares, 116 likes. I mean, that's pretty solid. But the thing is, the rest of the restaurant owners, aside from a handful on Hilton Head specifically, don't know what happens outside of the like, comment, and share. You
I
have
know.
you have a very good idea of what happens because your phone's probably like melting during the day from getting all the
Yeah. Like ding,
notifications.
ding, ding, ding,
Could,
ding, ding, ding.
could you just tell them like we've got folks? I want to share my screen one more time, and I'm looking as a visitor, so they can't see all of our awesome analytics statistics that are like proprietary to us. So don't worry, this is like what anyone could see. This is our page right here, and this is their awesome food. And yeah, I went heavy on the tacos here. I wanted you to see all the different flavors they offer because
You
they're
have
awesome.
so many tacos.
Right, you do. I mean, to remove my little screen. And what is happening here is we have a ton of engagement, right? But the thing that's fun is we're doing some, we're continuing the conversation. I've said this a million ways. I've never had a restaurant owner or I've never had a client explain in their own words what happens on the back end. But can you kind of tell folks what happens to your phone during the day? Because it's just so fun. when we have this thing
Um,
just cooking, you know?
it just goes bananas.
Yes.
It just goes bananas. I mean, we're running this campaign right now, which is awesome because we're getting ready for Bluffton. And, I want as many people to like our page and follow our page and being interactive with our page. And so we're giving away free tacos for a year. What happens on the back end? First of all, people love it. They love the messenger. I get comments because they'll see that I'm part owner of Tio's, and they'll find me on social media and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, your restaurant responds to my text messages so fast. It's so awesome." And I'm like, "Yes, and every single time that you message our restaurant, I'm also."
Yes, you're getting blown up, man. You're getting blown up. I'll have to fix that for you because, like, it's when we do these campaigns, it's a little absurd. Like thousands of times during the week. I know it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I love hearing that. I don't have. I'm gonna be honest right now.
Oh,
I
God.
do not have text or messenger notification on my phone. My phone does not ding when I get a message or when I get a text message. And the reason why that is because I get so many that I have to manage my time extremely well. I mean, I think that any small business owner or any successful, corporate person is going to tell you time management in your day is everything. So I actually look at my text messages and I look at my messenger when I can, and then I respond to those. So I do have, besides TTT, which has been the most amazing thing for us, I do have a couple of managers that also manage messages when it says, "I want to talk to a manager." I have them over those messages as well. And then I have, messages that, they want to talk to an owner. I'm here. But yeah, I'm very purposeful in my response of text messages and messenger. And that's just from a business standpoint. So I can focus on what I need to focus on right then and there.
And I'll tell you what, man. Like that's a great place where automation truly succeeds because it's if you I'll tell you this, folks. If you are a restaurant or business owner and you do have enough time to answer messages, guess what that means? Your Facebook ain't working for you. It's not doing what it needs to do.
Right. Yeah. And we get messages all the time about things that need to be answered right away. And so
Yes.
that's where TTT comes in. You have somebody that's driving onto the island and they're like, "Oh, view menu," or I mean, we get answer questions about gluten-free. We get I mean, there's so many questions. And
Instant answers. If we don't answer them, they're going somewhere else. I mean, there's plenty of places that they can go.
yeah, absolutely. And so with TTT, it's such a huge weight off of my shoulders that I know that they're getting a response and that I know that, they're being heard. Like a customer just wants to know the answer and move on. And then, we're creating that relationship and they feel good that they got that response. Instant gratification in 2020 and in 2021 is so important. Amazon has broken the mold as far as instant gratification goes, right? And so we have to have that instant gratification of being responsive about, whatever it may be. Guys, people ask the most random questions to restaurants. And with TTT, now I sound like
It's
an
so
average.
true. It is so No, it's so true. We have the weirdest questions ever. I swear.
But here's the thing, and now I'm gonna sound like a commercial for TTT. But here's the thing: if I get the same question that my managers keep answering, that's not in TTT, you can customize it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So when we get a question,
I love you. I tell you what, the whole TO's crew. I'm putting it on the screen to make it real.
So
TTT.
when we get a question that we are like, oh my gosh, people keep asking this, like, then we can customize TTT. And so then it's one less question that a manager has to get on and answer. With restaurants, our biggest expense is payroll. So I'm
Hmm.
telling you, I don't want managers answering Facebook Messenger all day long. I don't want them. I don't want that to be a part of their role. I want them to focus on the people that are coming in the door, right? So
So smart.
having the TTT and having the automation is so amazing, and we can change it to whatever. I mean,
I
what's
want to just say this, and Deirdre crushes it because she sees the stuff too, and like she almost it makes me mad a little bit, not mad. It makes me like want to be better because she will answer text message to you faster, almost
I
every time.
know,
And I was like,
I
how does she
know.
do this? Like, she's not on her phone because she's moving around all day long. How does she do this? She's just a robot, but she's on Facebook too. You can see the things. Now she's one that she's less likely to go into TTT, more likely to text me to do what I need to do. Like Ryan, will you? This person's doing this, do it. But we know then to say, okay, well if they're asking this or telling us this, let's add this in here, and now it's problem solved for like the next who knows how many people. And guys, that is the smart way to think about business. You must optimize everywhere you can, especially in these uncertain times. It's not like it was 2 years ago when we could just like push people into a place and pack it in there and be all good. Now we have to be very like strategic. And I want to just get into before we like end this thing. The strategicness, and you guys have like set the standard. I think how many news stations visited your restaurant this year, like basically demonstrating, hey, this is how you do it. Please follow this example. you know,
Um,
I said that, not you, so I'll take the
you know,
heat.
I'll tell you, it was really, really scary when the pandemic happened. It was really scary because we were just about to go into our busy season. And if you don't know, Hilton Head, the majority of businesses like survive off of what they make May through September.
Hmm. Yep.
And so we're going into March, we're going into our second summer, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, what does this mean for the future of our restaurant? And how are we going to survive? And what's the game plan? And 4 days before we closed down, I found out I was pregnant. And the pressure of all of this felt like, you know, just the weight of the world was on our shoulders. Failure was not an option. It just was not an option. We've put all of our chips in. We believe in TOs 150%, and it wasn't an option. So, from a social media standpoint, and from an advertising standpoint, and from a news story standpoint, a lot of people shy away from the news because they're worried about what they're going to say or how they're going to come across,
How they'll
or what a
look, all these
newspaper is
things.
going to say.
Hmm.
And from a branding standpoint, and from an advertising standpoint, and specifically from a social media standpoint, I was like, bring it on. We need everybody to know that we're open. We need every news station to, cover that we're doing everything that we can to be the safest that we can during the pandemic. Bring on the newspapers, bring on the journalists. I love media. I love news people. I love journalists. I think what they do is so important. And I think that it's very valuable. And so, I think that really got us through. I'm
It did.
so appreciative of all of those people that were like, hey, would you mind doing an interview on, a new restaurant staying open during the pandemic? Would you mind doing an interview on how, you're taking safety precautions to keep your staff safe? Every single time I said yes. I'm a yes person. If I can do it for
Hmm.
somebody, if I can make somebody's day, if I can help somebody, I'm going to do it. I'm a yes person. I like that.
You definitely are a yes person. Like I know for sure. You've never told me no, even with my like crazy ideas, and I have a lot of those folks like crazy ideas. And you're like, well, Ryan, sure, just get out of my face. You're like, just stop texting me so much. Sure, do whatever you want. But like, I really always had
Not
the
true.
best intention, which is true, and she just goes with it. Like when I say, listen, what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna put this mic on you, and I'm gonna walk backwards and try not to break my neck on this bar stool, and you're gonna walk
Yeah.
towards me, and you're like,
Yeah.
why? You're like, why are you telling me what to do? I got this. I was like, what? And you're just from day one so gung ho, and that is why we've had the visual video success here. And I want to just bring up another important person here from last year in 2020 and this year, obviously, Ryan Bishop. If you live in Beaufort County, like the odds are you've seen one of his videos by now. The mulcher guy. Come on, Sally, you've seen
I
this
love
dude.
it.
Yeah,
Whoa, one
dude, he's in the
more time.
awesome gyro track things. He
Yeah.
could not. I couldn't believe this. He's a lumberjack, folks, and now he's a YouTube star. He never thought he
That's
could be
awesome.
this YouTube like sensation, but he is. And like there was a trend that happened right after March of last year. Sal, we never got to talk about this because we just haven't had the time yet. But like last year was so funny. After he and I started doing these crazy videos, the ag trend began on YouTube. Farmers and like lumberjacks, I guess, started coming out of the woodworks being on YouTube. And the reason why is no one was there before. When they see people like them getting eyeballs and attention on the devices that we're on, they're like, uh oh, I better do that too. Because
Uh,
that dude that I don't know is going to get more than me. And he slayed it. And I think, like, I feel confident every week. Like, check our resume, check our posts, check our stuff. We're
yeah.
there, And
Well,
now
and
you're
cheers to Ryan for being
oh
a
man, this is
leader.
amazing.
I say early adopter, right? So like cheers to Ryan for
Yes.
being an early adopter and recognizing how social media can build your business. That and TTT specifically, but this is the thing. My girls would tell you it doesn't matter what they watch. Like they'll tell you like, "Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying." And I
Yes.
know people with kids, they're going to say the same thing. It's so satisfying watching a job get completed or to have the lot cleared out and all of that. I mean, I think it's awesome. And cheers to him for taking that step and, kind of opening that space. That's
I,
awesome.
that shout out to me. I'll tell you I could name like so many things, but like people start making fun of me if they're not already. We got some comments. We'll check those too in a minute. But Ryan Bishop was like, look, he looked at me like I was absolutely insane when I told him what I told you. Like, bro, you got to do videos, man. We're gonna get you doing like
Yeah.
selfies and stuff. He goes, well, Ryan, I have never taken a selfie. I was like, well, today's your day. Let's practice. And this guy
Yeah.
just slays it. And in the beginning, and when he started seeing the success, he kind of did the opposite of you because you're like, listen, I hired you to do this stuff. Go ahead and do it, man. He's wanting to know all the things because he's not played in this space before, and so he's asking me all these questions, doing this, doing that. Now, like, I hardly ever hear from him. I have to like text him, hey man, remember me? I'm like, I see your stuff's doing great, but like, hello. We're actually doing a video next week, and we're gonna go see. We're gonna be on Defusky. We're gonna do
Awesome.
some work on Defusky, but I'm definitely gonna tell him that you, like the owner of TOs, gave him a shout out. And my screen's gone.
Yes.
Everything is just like out to get me. So Sally's gonna stall for like 2 seconds, and I'm gonna get
Okay.
my screen back because
That
that's how
sounds
we.
good. That sounds good. So TTT, how does it happen? So the customer gets a direct message. They can direct message TOs. We can direct message them. They can view the menu. They can view merchandise. They can buy. They can buy T-shirts. They can buy hot sauces. We're getting to the point where you're going to actually be able to purchase food and purchase things through TTT. And then from there, they can do so many other things. They can make a reservation. I mean, the opportunities of what TTT offers a business is endless. Honestly, I was just on Facebook. I mean, you guys can probably find me on social media or whatever, but I was just on Facebook and I was looking at different people's Facebook pages and I realized you could view their reviews, which is hilarious. But anyway, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I was like, oh my gosh, the Chamber of Hilton Head. I was like, they should totally get TTT. I'm like, that would be so amazing because there's 2.7 million tourists a year that, come to the island and they look up the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm like, this would be such a great way for the chamber to be able to consistently, you know, converse with people. I'm like, oh my gosh, here I am again, the older sister of Ryan.
I know. I know. Like I'm already calculating my proposal now. Like I will cut you out a 20% residual going forward. Like,
Um,
and
yeah,
these are conversations, guys. This is not like acting here. This is how we really are. This is so much fun, and I can't be around people that aren't happy and fun and smiling. And you bring so much light into everyone's life, Sally. I tell you what, I'm so thankful not only to work for you, but just to know you. So
oh, you're so awesome. Thank you. Well,
I
and
want to check
it's
these
the
comments.
same.
Let's see what we got here.
Okay,
Crit.
go
Oh,
ahead.
awesome. So yes, everyone knows like the people that look at what I do, and I appreciate anyone that supports me. They know I love the tacos, man. That's what I talk about in the stories and the pictures. And Greg Adams, we talked to him before. He's a live streaming pro. He says he's gonna have to come out to Hilton Head Valley and get some tacos.
Yes.
This guy's got some money, man. So he might have to get some extra help that day, coming through buying all the
That's
tacos.
awesome.
But I do just have to say before like Zuckerberg pulls my plug again, since I'm saying all the things, I just have to say we are ready for anything. We are going to bring it on. We are going to crush, continue to crush. There's no one that's touching your social. No one. Doesn't matter the budget. Doesn't matter the size. We're crushing it, and we're going to continue to crush. And I just thank you for
All
everything.
thanks
And
to you. All
do
thanks to you. The
do you have?
person, I'm going to tell you from a person who hates the camera, my husband hates it, like,
He's so
and does
good.
not know social media. I'll tell you, does not know social media. And I said, I really need help with social media. I want a way to connect with my customers. And my husband said, get Ryan. If you can get Ryan, your life is going to be so easy. And I can't tell you how true that has been.
That really is my chef, my favorite. Man, Chef Linden, I hope I've never let you down. I never plan on it, never will. We're gonna crush it in Bluffton. We're gonna crush it in all the places y'all go.
We are.
Anywhere you go, Ryan and TTT and everything that I have will be there, ready to assist you to
We need
achieve
like
your
a
goals.
TTT sign. TTT,
Oh man,
TTT.
they're already looking at it. You can't do that these days, man. I got to keep everything low profile. That's why I wear the hat, man. Just like, Psh, don't. I'm here. All black room. You can't even see how messy this place is right now. Well, Sally, thank you
Oh,
so much. This has been like I think probably the most fun podcast I've done. Sorry to all the other guests here. This was just this was so fun. Was it fun
I'm
for
always.
you? Was this your first ever podcast, by the way? No,
No, I
of course
did What
not.
the Buck. No.
Oh, and now shout out to those guys. I don't know Brian very well, but Derek, it's my boy. Shout out Derek for
Yep.
GTA. Derek's
Yeah, that
awesome.
was fun. But I drank like margaritas and tequila during that podcast, so that
And then
I
they
don't know.
like were they like on bongs on the camera and on the other side, like you're like, well, I'm legal, and they were like,
You're,
just kidding. They would never do that
you're so
ever.
knowledgeable about all these things I know nothing about. I was just like, wow, really? Like,
Derek's been teaching me things for like 11 years since I moved here. The first like seedy place I ever went, he was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? What's your name?" I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "You're tall," and we became like best friends, man. This is back in the old
my
Remy's days. What you know about that, Sally? You know everything about that. And we won't talk about that.
two, I'll tell you, two of my favorite relationships of 2020 would be you and Derek. Like, I'll
Yeah.
just
Oh,
say it. Like,
that's better than any trophy ever, man. Derek, I miss Derek. Sally, you just like you're making me turn red and blush and stuff. You know I'm not good at this. Man, I'm stuttering now. Stop. Camera back on you. Just kidding.
no.
You're the best, man. Well, we got to get to Bluffton since we missed. Her day is so crazy. Everybody's day is so crazy. But when you have two restaurants, building one, you never know what's going to happen. We were going to go do a video in Bluffton to show y'all some sneak peek action. But let's go do that whenever the next time you're down here, and I'll make sure it's awesome.
I will be there.
Sally,
I'll let you know. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun. You guys can message me or whatever if you have questions or if you want to talk, off the page and ask private questions. That's totally fine. I'm here for you and thanks for everything. Appreciate it, Ryan.
I love you guys. You're awesome. Tell Chef and all the little ones that Ryan is so grateful. This was like the highlight of the year so far. So thank you. and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll message you like 15 million times after I get off of this saying thank you. After I can
Yeah, no
start breathing
worries.
again. I'll
I'm
see
here
you
for
later.
you.
Thank you so much, Sally.
Uh-huh.
Man, gosh, that you're not gonna get this sort of content anywhere else. I assure you, it just does not. It's not possible. She just dropped bombs. Like I had to like cut her off a little bit because man, she's telling you all the secrets, man. And I have to pay my bills. She can't be giving all the secrets. I'm just kidding. Sally, thank you so much, seriously, for taking the time. I know how restricted your time is with running the household, running the restaurants, and the building crews and all that stuff, man. It's it's truly awesome to know you and work for you and Chef. And thank you for the time today, guys. Thank you for sticking around another episode of the Chatbot Podcast. Please leave some comments or questions, or if you'd like and some new ideas for things coming out soon for new episodes, drop them in there. I got no signal again, but this is not the fault of StreamYard. This is the fault of a bright light on a Sony camera, and the sensor's overheated. So it's time for me to bounce. And just like I did last time, y'all, I'm going to end with a video because I really do like this StreamYard program. It's pretty tight. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see.